Have you ever poured your absolute heart and soul into something only to feel like it didn't make a single bit of difference? It's that feeling that just makes you want to throw your hands up and say, "That's it, I'm done trying." But what actually happens when we do that? Today, let's dive into this really fascinating human paradox and figure out where our sense of meaning actually comes from.
So, to get us started, here's a word for you: cajole. It just means to persuade someone with a bit of flattery or gentle encouragement. And honestly, who do we have to cajole the most? Ourselves, right? We're always trying to talk ourselves into keeping on, especially when all our effort feels like it's going absolutely nowhere.
And that kind of leads me to a question for you. Think about it. What is it that makes you actually willing to try something new? Is it just pure curiosity? Or maybe the promise of some kind of reward? This is really the nut of what we're talking about today. What is it that keeps our engine running when the road gets rough?
And that takes us right into our first section here, that absolutely gut-wrenching feeling when it seems like all your hard work just vanishes, poof, like was never even there.
Man, this quote just hits hard, doesn't it? You're doing your best, you're trying to make things better, your intentions are good, and somehow you end up being treated like you're the problem. That's more than just frustrating. It feels like a total rejection. And for a lot of us, that's the breaking point. That's the line.
So this is the conclusion you land on. If nobody even notices, if the world just keeps on spinning just fine without your input, then what's the point? You kind of just resign yourself to it. It's not really anger. It's more of a quiet, tired decision to just step back. If the world's okay without my effort, maybe I'll be okay without giving it.
But here's the thing. Making that decision to step back, it doesn't solve anything. In fact, it just opens up this whole other can of worms. You start this internal debate about why you were even trying so hard in the first place. And this is the real conflict, right here. On one side, you have this incredibly pure human hope. You just want your actions to have some kind of impact. You want to matter. But then on the other side, there's this little voice that starts whispering in your ear. Is this really about making a difference? Or is this just your ego, a selfish need to feel important? And this brings us to a super interesting paradox. As humans, we're basically wired to avoid wasting effort. But the moment we actually stop trying, we get hit with this weird, hollow feeling. It really makes you wonder, who are we anyway, without the things we pour our energy into?
So let's really go there. What happens when we actually follow through with it? What does it truly feel like to just stop? Let's call it our little experiment in doing nothing.
And this is the result. The frustration might be gone, sure, but it gets replaced by something else entirely. Something sad and empty. It's so surprising, because you think you're going to feel this huge wave of relief, but instead, there's just a void where all that struggle used to be.
And that void, it has a name: meaninglessness. When we stop caring, we might escape the sting of our effort going unnoticed, but we're left with something so much heavier. This profound feeling that nothing matters at all, including us.
But, and this is a huge but, that feeling of emptiness is not a dead end. Not at all. In fact, it's the exact opposite. It's the key. It's the turning point that reveals something absolutely crucial about who we are. So the whole journey starts to make sense when you lay it out. You start with the frustration, right? That leads you to just stop. And stopping leads to that feeling of emptiness. But that emptiness isn't the final stop. It's the very thing that forces you to have this incredible realization. Because, we just can't live in a state of meaninglessness for very long. It's not how we're wired. That feeling of emptiness creates this incredibly powerful pushback, this deep instinctual need to find purpose, to connect with something, to try again. The void itself becomes the reason to move. So, here it is, the crucial point of all of this. The whole journey shows us that we were looking for meaning in completely the wrong place. We thought the meaning was in the victory, in getting the validation from everyone else, but it was never there. The meaning, that feeling of being truly alive, our sense of who we are, it was all wrapped up in the act of trying the whole time. Which leaves us with this one last, really powerful question to think about. Maybe the whole point isn't about getting to the finish line without any problems. Maybe the whole point of it all is the struggle itself, the effort, the caring, the trying. What if that is the very purpose we've been looking for all along?